Ladies and gentlemen, Critics' Choice and Gotham Award winner, Elsie Fisher. There you go. I'm so happy to see you here.
I'm so happy to see you, man.
Elsie, we've had a couple great conversations, and I've learned many things about you, particularly that you are a major fan of Bo Burnham, who wrote and directed 8th Grade and is like a huge YouTube megastar for those of you who may not know. When you found out that you had this part, were you more excited because it was a great part in a movie or because you were going to be hanging out with Bo Burnham?
I mean, both. Although I won't lie, Bo was definitely a big bonus. No, I mean, it's like very funny to me now, but I was like very seriously considering not acting anymore. And then I got this audition and I'm like, it's Bo Burnham. So I went to this audition and I was losing my mind before it. But yeah, I mean, also like the script really called to me. The very first audition was Kayla's opening monologue, which is very weird for those of you who've seen the movie. And I mean, that really called to me as someone who's watched YouTube and someone who talks like a teenager.
Right, yeah. You're allowed to talk like a teenager.
Thank you.
Guess what?
I am one.
Right, exactly. For those of people who don't know, you filmed this movie 8th Grade basically right after you had finished 8th Grade. Was there any part of you that was like, oh my God, I can't even think about going through this again?
Oh, every part of me. I mean, I've gone to public school for most of my life, and 8th grade really stood out as a year. It was not great. No, but I mean, it was also very cool to like relive it right after I finished and kind of recontextualize it in a way. You know, it kind of felt like therapy a little bit, because it was very traumatizing 8th grade, and to go back into it and live it again within the context of a movie where I was comfortable yet vulnerable was very odd.
I'd be very curious to know, I mean, this movie premiered over a year ago now at Sundance, and then came out, had a great theatrical run, and people have really seen it on so many different, in so many different ways. What do young people who spot you come up to you and say, if they've seen the movie, what do they want to tell you about it?
I mean, it's really sweet. I mean, not even just young people, but more so young people, just really relate to it, and especially the anxiety, because I think it's not really portrayed in an honest way, especially through a teenager, and I think the teenagers are the majority of people who struggle with it, especially now, but it's always very sweet to see people, especially my age and even younger sometimes, like, come up to me and say they really related to a lot of parts of the film, just because I felt very alone in my own 8th grade year, and the fact that other people don't have to because of the film is very special to me.
And you're right. I think you're right. There are people in my generation. I mean, I know all my friends who saw the movie, they were like, yes, it brings me back to how I felt. Or even Bo talks about how the character that you play of Kayla is kind of almost a stand-in for him in a certain way with things that he's going through in his life. Were you surprised at how this movie speaks to people who aren't just 13-year-old girls?
Yeah, I mean, I think the teenage experience, and especially the female teenage experience, feels so specific. And, to see, for instance, like my 80-year-old grandfather relate to the movie is amazing. I mean, it shows how universal hating other people is. But no, truly, it is very special to see.
That is the most true and sad statement of the whole night. So thank you for that, Elsie Fisher.
You're welcome.
Listen, not to make you tell me a story that you've already told me, but that's exactly what I'm about to ask you to do. So you film this movie, you finish it, you go back to school, you know exactly what I'm about to say, and it's time to audition for the school play at your school, and you've just finished a movie that you're about to get nominated for, like a Golden Globe for, and win all these awards. So what happened when you auditioned for the school play?
I did not get in.
I mean, okay, so then you don't get the part. The show happens, you get a Golden Globe nomination, you win a Gotham Award, you win a Critics' Choice Award. That was so cool, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
What did the people then say to you after that?
It was actually very cool because a lot of my friends still go to the school where that theater program was, so I went back to support them and watch their play. And I was talking with my theater teacher, shout out to Mr. Donia, and he was like, we were playing around with it all year and kind of teasing each other, but he's like just chill with it now and the coolest dude, and he's like kind of disappointed in himself. But I want him to know that, you know what, he's good. He's got it. Stage is very difficult. It is not the same skills as movie acting.
There you go.
While this is a great story, he was absolutely valid in his decision.
So maybe you weren't the best candidate for the role. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I love it.
What? I didn't need it anyways.
Yeah,
I'm all good.
Have your best friend, so what did your best friend say when they saw the movie? What did they have to say about it?
Not all of them have seen it yet. Okay. But the few that have, which is one, I think. I know. You know what? It's okay. My friends are all like musical theater people and not so much film people. I'm like the black sheep in the herd. Maybe the wolf. I don't know. But the one that saw it really liked it and related to it. So that was very sweet. There was one who saw it, so two people, okay. I can count. No, the other one who saw it it was hard because they know me, and like watching the movie on its own is very hard, and you know, you have a lot of cringe and secondhand embarrassment, and knowing me and who I am and watching it and seeing me in that was very rough for her.
So now you're in 10th grade.
Yes.
If there was a movie called 10th Grade and you were the star, what would it be about?
Oh, I don't know. 10th grade, maybe? No, I mean, I think high school is a lot more chill. I'm enjoying it more. I'm going to a private homeschool place, though, so it's not as universal. Okay. But I mean, I think a lot of it would be like discovering who you are. You know, 8th grade is kind of just chaos. It's like war. But 10th grade is like, you know, 2 summers after the war where you can like still have PTSD from it, but you're a little cooler now.
What more can I say except Elsie Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. Stay put.
Cool.
I mean, I could sit here and talk to you for like a half hour more, but these people have places to go. Now, all right, we do have one more honoree left, and that is the legend that is Sam Elliott from A Star Is Born. Before we bring him out, here's a little bit of his work in the movie.